Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Just scrolling through the chat here. Don't worry, Hound Dog. I'm going to make that point. Lots of Tennessee talk to talk about tonight. How's everybody doing, though? Y'all doing good? I hope you are. I know if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. That goes without saying. This is a call-in show. If you want to call in and talk about anything related to college football or otherwise, the number to call in is 864-207-4522. I'll say it again for all you in the back who didn't hear it. The number to call in is 864-207-4522. Anybody who supports the show through Super Chat or PayPal is much appreciated. It's the reason I can continue to do these shows. As much as there's a lot of people that would love to see these shows go away. Maybe not a lot, a handful, right? But we don't appease those folks. Tennessee is at the forefront of college football news. It seems like every couple of years. And I want to be upfront here. I do not have a personal problem with Tennessee. I just don't. There's not really much of a history between Clemson and Tennessee, otherwise, outside of a couple of big games that were played a long time ago. Several of my business partners, including the main one, Catfish, Bobby C., Tennessee fan. I have a lot of Tennessee fans that follow me on here. I do not have a personal vendetta against Tennessee, but this is the biggest news in college football as of today and as of probably the past couple of weeks, with the sanctions that were put on, the investigation, and the subsequent firing of Jeremy Pruitt, the resignation of the athletic director, Philip Fulmer, and now this. Well, then the coaching search, and now this. So the Tennessee Volunteers go out and hire Josh Heupel, the UCF head coach, as their next guy in line. If you've been watching the past couple of shows I've done, I've been talking about Tennessee and the coaching search, mainly because Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator for Clemson, was involved in that coaching hire and was at the forefront of it, quite frankly. The rumors were that Danny White, who came from UCF, said off record to people, let me preface it this way. I never claimed to be a Clemson insider. I never have. I'm not a Clemson insider. I'm just a fan who has a YouTube channel. But I do know two people in particular that are Clemson insiders that I communicate with on a regular basis, who their names will go unmentioned because they don't want me to mention their name. But I speak with them on a regular basis. They told me 5 days ago, and I think I even reported on this, that Tony Elliott was their number one pick for head coach. He was the guy they wanted. He was the target. As soon as Danny White got hired, the first person he contacted, according to my two sources, was Tony Elliott. And the job, according to them, or according to my sources, was his if he wanted it. Now, they went out and hired interviewed a bunch of people. PJ Fleck, James Franklin, Tony Elliott, what's his face? The former head coach of the Titans. Bunch of big names. Vol Twitter blew up and said, we need a proven head coach. Well, you got a proven head coach in UCF. The problem the issue that I see here is, not a problem, but an issue, is that Danny White gets hired from UCF, the former athletic director for UCF, and several other schools before that, so it's not just UCF. But he's had a relationship with this guy since Scott Frost left. Josh Heupel is the guy that took over for Scott Frost when Scott Frost left to go to Nebraska after the fake national championship. We all remember that. According to Josh Heupel, after the announcing of the hiring of Josh Heupel, is that he was their number one guy. I happen to know different, or very, very strongly I have a suspicion that what he says is not true. He was not the first guy. And you go out, Tennessee goes out in the midst of all that's going on and makes an athletic director hiring from UCF, and he ends up hiring the guy that he's been working with for the past 3 years and make him the highest paid athletic director in the Southeastern Conference in the meantime. Did they really need to make you the highest paid athletic director in the Southeastern Conference just to go out and hire the guy that you already been working with for the past 3 years? And then go on and say that he was your first choice when we all know that he wasn't? He wasn't. I'm sorry, he wasn't. You can think that if you really want to think that. I can promise you he wasn't even the second or third choice. Now, none of that matters. They got who they've got. They're in a bad way. We can all agree to this. About 90 minutes before I came on air tonight, I had to go and change the title of the video. Albert Haynesworth and a couple of other legendary Vol players took to social media. And what did they say? They said that there's a systemic racism problem at Tennessee. Now, again, I want to be very clear here. This is not me saying this. And I don't even necessarily believe it. I'm just reporting on it because it's an interesting story. I'll be the first to tell you, as a Clemson person, how many people have called Dabo Swinney a racist over the past 12 months? A bunch. How many of those were current and former players? Great players, especially. 0. Well, there was one player that got kicked off the team that said that another coach used the N-word in practice. And that's why Dabo Swinney was a racist. Or maybe it was the shirt he wore, the Football Matters t-shirt, the charity. Whatever the case may be. But I know what it's like to have a coach that people say is racist. Everyone says Georgia's racist inherently, Clemson. Any of these Southern teams, they're all racist. So I'm not throwing stones here, okay? I'm not saying that Tennessee is a racist organization, a racist football program. I'm not saying any of that. But Albert Haynesworth is. That's the point. That's the point. And if you look at the connection between Clemson and Tennessee, not as far as games are played, but as far as the players that play on the teams, there are some questionable things to be asked here. In particular, the reason that Albert Haynesworth is so upset, apparently, according to his tweets and his Facebook posts, is that T. Martin, the wide receivers coach for Tennessee, was not even considered for this job. T. Martin, former quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers during their 1998 national championship team run. Other players as well. Amari Rodgers. You guys know who Amari Rodgers is? One of the best wide receivers for Clemson for the past 3 years. One of the best Clemson Tigers to ever wear a uniform, quite frankly, especially in the modern times. Is T. Martin's son. He encouraged his own son to go play for Clemson and Dabo Swinney instead of coming to Tennessee. He's not the only one. T. Higgins wanted to go to the Volunteers, chose Clemson. Trevor Lawrence, born and raised in Tennessee, well, raised in Georgia, born in Tennessee, grew up a massive Peyton Manning fan. Chose Clemson over Tennessee. Now, these are all during the Butch Jones recruiting years. And they blame it on Butch Jones, and maybe it is Butch Jones' fault. This is a red flag, though. So with all, it's you know what it is? It's not even just one of these or two of these things. It's a whole, if you look at the broad picture of it, it doesn't look good. Now, I think we all knew that the coaching search and hiring in Tennessee would be a rocky one. I think we all knew that would be a rocky one. But to hire this guy from UCF, this Danny White, who has a good track record, by the way. I'm not saying he's not going to be successful. I'm not saying that Josh Heupel won't be successful. I'm not saying that at all. Who knows? Nobody knows. Anybody that pretends like they know doesn't know. How many people predicted that Dabo Swinney would be an all-time great as a wide receiver coach that was hired from within? Nobody. 0 people. 0. So I'm not even suggesting that this is a bad hire at AD, that this is a bad hire for head coach. I'm not suggesting any of that. But seems to me as if Danny White has loose lips, and he told several people that Josh Heupel was not his first choice, not his second choice, not his third or fourth choice. Just wasn't. He can say whatever he wants. He even said, let me pull this up here. Well, I'll pull it up in a minute. He even said, and I'll give you the quote that he said, that he was the first and only choice, the only person that was offered the job. That is not true. It's not. He was not the first or second or third person offered the job. They got turned down. We'll never know exactly how many people were offered the job because those things are private, unless you know somebody that knows somebody type deal. Anyway, so that's the Tennessee situation. Anybody wants to call and talk about the Tennessee situation? Also, if you want to talk about Super Bowl, you know what I think I did leading up to the Super Bowl last year on my live show? I talked about I think the word hate is a strong word. I don't like to use that word. Well, let's just use it. My hate for Super Bowl parties. Does anybody like Super Bowl parties? I don't. Never did. Several reasons why I do not like Super Bowl parties. The main one being that the Super Bowl is on Sunday. Most people have to work Monday. Also, I have kids that have to go to school on Monday, which means waking up at 6 a.m. like I do every single day. 6:30. Between 6 and 6:30. The other thing is getting together with a group of people that I don't know, most of them. Maybe some of them I might know. Maybe some of them I know and don't like. And watching a football game with a bunch of people who don't watch football on a regular basis and listening to them comment on the football game when clearly they don't watch football, except for on Super Bowl Sunday, gets under my skin like no other. I would rather sit in a living room with a bunch of people I didn't know and have them punch me in the face one by one for 3 hours. Then sit in a living room with a bunch of people and watch a football game with a bunch of people who don't watch football and talk about football for 3 hours. That's just me. I mean, that's all I'm saying. So you can almost, unless I get dragged kicking and screaming to a football Super Bowl party, I'm sitting at home watching the Super Bowl by myself. That's just all that. That's the way it's been for the past 10 years, at least. And hopefully, God willing, that'll be the way that I die. If I never go to a Super Bowl party again for the rest of my life, I will have succeeded. I hate Super Bowl parties. Let's see who is in the chat, and then we'll get to the phone lines. Fat Dummit, what is up? Nate, the great, the depressed Wolverines fan, don't be late. Lenny, the Gump, Summers, I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. I happen to already know that you are, because you're here. Gold and blue dude. George! No comprende. No speaking English. George. Vandy Dandy. Stop mistreating Albert Haynesworth. Yeah. Vodka drinker says fat. Is that fat as in like the 90s term? Oh man, that's fat. Man, those shoes are fat. Or is this fat like a fat chick? I don't know. I have to ask him. He's the one that said it, not me. JW13120. Tennessee is such a dumpster juice. They may never be worth a dime again. Hound Dog. What is up, buddy? John Serrain is here. The sports expert is here. Ballard Sports Media. My man Pete. My man Ballard. Ballard, I'm disappointed in you. You're doing so much better with your every time you call in with having a point. You've been doing great, and then you go and say stupid shit like two minutes later. It's all right. You're still learning. You're still my boy, though. Mike 3883. It's that time. It's always that time. Jeff Webster, J-Dub. Matty Sims. I know he's amazing and fantastic because he's here. Michael Hogg. What's up, buddy? Luke Walker. I love that Tennessee fans can act like they can act picky. Yeah. Right. Well, look, and I get it, man. Look, if you're a team like Tennessee or any other team for that matter that fires your coach or your coach leaves or whatever the case may be, you get a new guy in there. Yes, if you're a Tennessee fan, of course you're supportive and you're hoping for the best. That is just called being a fan. Nothing wrong with that. Right? You hope for the best. Hell, this guy might end up being the GOAT for all we know. I mean, chances of that happening are pretty low, but he might end up being the GOAT. Of course you're going to be supportive. And you should be. But, I mean, some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes is embarrassing. And I know that Tennessee fans are not happy about this, and as they should not be. But everything is not sunshine and roses in Knoxville. Let's not pretend that it is. Uncle Lou is here. Speaking of Uncle Lou, hold on, let me see this here. Yeah, everyone check us out. Mondays at 10 p.m. Lunch Money Show. Show about nothing at 10 p.m. That's all. Check it out. Sure you'll like it. Or not. Whether you like it or not, it'll still go on. That's the main point. Sooner West. Nick DTV. Dominic is here. Ryan Hinkie. Wilkie with a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says, Pete, what kind of computer or headphones do you use? My computer is a Razer, and my headphones are Beats. KC Kevin Dog fan for life. Kevon Harris. All right. We have gotten through the pleasantries. I've done my diatribe on this Tennessee deal. You know, it is what it is. Good afternoon, you're on with Pete.
Good evening, Pete. This is Edward calling in. First time calling into your show. How you doing on this excellent Wednesday night?
It's Edward.
Yes.
What's up, Edward? How you doing, man?
Hey, not much, Pete. Yeah, I want to call in. I wanted to maybe get your thoughts on, if I may, on Deshaun Watson and Travis NT. Is this what, NTN or something? I can't think. Is it NTN? I think is his name. I'm not sure. I think it's NTN. I want to know what your thoughts on them, and maybe if you know or heard anything, if Travis NTN is staying with the program, or if he's declared draft to the NFL. I'm just wondering what your thoughts there.
Yeah, ETN has declared for the draft. I expect him to go somewhere in the first round. We'll see. I mean, I don't know, man. This is going to be a really crazy draft because of all the teams that need quarterbacks. That's the main reason. I'd say there's probably 3 or 4 possible franchise quarterbacks in this draft, but there's 6 to 8 teams that need one really bad, and we'll see the transfer of, like you just mentioned, Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, some really maybe even Aaron Rodgers. Some of the key starters in the NFL will be changing teams most likely. So this is going to be a crazy draft, and it's going to be and the running back position with whether it's Najee Harris or Etienne or some of these other guys that are coming out. It's going to be a little bit different than most years. It's going to be based on complete need for the team, not necessarily just taking the best guy available. So, you asked about Etienne. Yeah, Etienne's coming out. I think he'll go somewhere in the first round. The question is, will he go before Harris, or will Harris go before him? I don't think it really matters. I think they'll be taking pretty close to each other somewhere in the draft. Deshaun Watson is a whole other story. There is about 6 teams, probably 5 or 6 teams that really want Deshaun Watson, and it's going to be, I'm assuming it's going to be who wants, to bid the most, who wants to give up the most draft picks, who wants to trade the most draft capital to get him, and I have no idea. It looks all the reports is that the Jets are in the front running of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, right? But there's another 4 or 5 teams that could easily end up getting him. From everything I can tell, he's bound and determined to leave Houston no matter who they hire at coach. He's done, basically. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Pete, for answering my question, and thank you for having me on the show. I'll definitely call in again on it Wednesday, and I guess I'll call in Monday on the Lunch Money Show with you and Lou, 10:30 p.m.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to telling you my 5 biggest sins. I think we're supposed to tell you. Are you the one that's supposed to help us with the sins?
Well, I'm not an official rabbi or priest, but I could pretend like I'm a priest.
That's all you have to do.
Something like to say, yeah, come into my office, sons, and tell me what you're sinned for, and. And I can also do like a mock thing on that, but I can also tell you the real official way to get atonement too. So,
listen. You could just pretend. All you have to do is pretend. I've been pretending to know about football for 3 years now. Thank you for dropping in, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. You guys have it, Edward. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Oh my God, I'm on live. Okay, let's talk about Tennessee.
Is this George?
Yes, I forgot to say that. Hey, it's George in Portland.
What's up, George?
I'm getting old, man.
I haven't heard. I was getting worried about you. I haven't heard from you since. I don't know. It's been a while. Since the election, maybe.
Because I can't just
coincidence.
I can't just go out and eat in a restaurant anymore. I have to order it and go pick it up and bring it home and eat it. It's the real hassle.
Oh.
Anyway, what do you think? Have you already told us? What do you think? Do you think Tennessee just got lucky, or they fucked up? What do you think?
If you're going to convince me that Tennessee got lucky doing anything,
I'm so happy for them.
You're happy for them.
You have no idea who they're at. God damn, they got. Our basketball coach at Florida, Mike White.
No, but what does that have to do with what does that have to do with Tennessee's terrible situation?
Their brother, Mike White's brother, is Tennessee's new athletic director.
Okay. How's that? Yeah. What did he do?
Well, they're brothers. Florida's basketball coach and Tennessee's athletic director.
You're happy about that?
Guess who their
Is
dad
that supposed to mean something to me? Is that supposed to mean that?
It does. It gets deeper. Their dad is the guy that hired Mike Krzyzewski.
Look, their dad could be Jesus Christ for all I care. What does that have to do with? How many games has Jesus Christ won?
Athletic director at Duke that hired Mike Krzyzewski and won 50. These guys are made men. And Tennessee is about to take off,
sir.
Man. Yeah, they're
George,
it's the mafia, man. I'm trying to supply you with some original content.
Thank you.
Haven't heard before.
Yeah, that's definitely something I haven't heard before. You're right.
Well, just watch. You know, it's like
yeah.
Josh Heupel is the greatest hire ever.
Really? Yeah. Pontificate on that.
Yeah.
Expand on that thought.
Well, he fits the mold. He's a young upcoming coach, and they can make an excuse, just like dumbass Kirby Smart got all those 5 stars. They can say, people like Josh, they're going to Tennessee. Really, it's all about the bag men. Tennessee just said, we're going to get a bag man, you know? Oh, my God, I'm so happy for Tennessee. If you wanted to ask me about racism and social shit like that's going on,
I don't really even know if I do want to ask you about that.
Story.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I would go straight into a prison story and prove that white people and black people don't hate each other.
Yeah, please don't.
I'd be dead, man.
Yeah.
We love each other.
I don't know if I can handle that.
I've been in prison twice. I've been in prison twice, man. Trust me. No one's ever fucked with me in my life except some white guy that was shorter than I am, and he feels like he's going to make his name on me, you know? It's so hilarious. I grew up in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, you know? I've done some fucked up shit, man. I've said the wrong thing many times in the wrong situation, and everyone just laughs at me and leaves me alone. There's a lot of love out there, man. If anybody believes in racism, let's give the United States of America back to the Indians and get the fuck out of here. You know?
Where are you gonna go if they kick us, George, hold on. If they kick us out, like you just suggested, where are you going?
I'll go back to Poland. They say I'm from Poland.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. Thank you, George. You're amazing and fantastic. What's up, your own Pete?
Hey, what's going on, Pete? It's Ballard. How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm amazing and fantastic. How you doing, Ballard?
I'm doing good. Hey, George, look, we love you, brother. Put the bottle down. I mean, George is good people, though. I just, some of the stuff he brings up. But anyways, look.
Traveling Fool. Hold on, I got to say that. I don't normally just butt in with a comment, but Traveling Fools is in here. By the way, hello. You're amazing and fantastic. Says, George is that guy at the bar you accidentally sit next to.
My God. You know, he seems like a cool guy, but I mean, he calls up and it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I was falling asleep waiting on hold listening to this guy just now, man. But then I heard the beat that indicated that I'm on, and it woke me up. But anyway, I wanted to call up. First off, man, how about the year? I know you're a Panthers fan, but how about the Buccaneers this year, man? We are in the Super Bowl, and it's going to be a great matchup with Mahomes and Brady. What do you think?
I think I've sat next to guys like George at the bar accidentally like 100 times. That hit so home with me. What was your question again?
Oh, I was just talking about Super Bowl coming up with Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes. I'm happy for my Buccaneers of the season that they've had.
Oh yeah,
And,
explain to me again real quick before we get into this. Explain to me again why you're a Buccaneers fan.
I live in the Tampa area. I've been here for years.
All right, that makes sense. All right, good.
So,
all right.
Yeah. But I want to get your thoughts on that game, and then I also wanted to ask you real quick. You've been a Clemson fan for a long time. I know you put up.
No, I've only been. Sir, get it right. I've only been a Clemson fan since 2015. What do they say? 2015 or 2015 or 14, whatever it is. Whenever they supposedly started getting good, that's how long. So yeah, not my whole life.
Yeah. So asking you about your favorite players, like the most entertaining player outside of the Dabo Sweeney era, would be irrelevant, right?
No, it wouldn't be irrelevant. Woody Dantzler, Charlie Whitehurst, just to name a couple of quarterbacks. He was during Dabo Sweeney. He was there with Sweeney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, there's been a bunch of them, but yeah. So anyway, to answer your question about the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. It's interesting to me simply because it's Tom Brady versus the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs have been the best team in football for the past 2 years. There really hasn't even been a close second. But the fact that Tom Brady at 43 years old went down to Tampa Bay and took a trash can team back to the Super Bowl in one season is pretty unbelievable. I don't care who they signed. I know they signed Gronk and they're loaded. They had Mike Evans. They were loaded on defense, and they brought in Leonard Fournette, and then he went and signed Antonio Brown. I get all that, but I don't care who he got on the team. For him to go do that in one season is pretty unbelievable, according to me.
Well,
anyway.
I'll say this about they have been down. But, I mean, ever since, like, even when Dirk Cutter was there, he drafted pretty well offensively, and Bruce Arians has helped out. I'll say this. They've had Godwin. They had Evans. The talent was there. The problem was Jameis Winston and his 30 interceptions. He can't handle pressure. It was a lack of leadership at the quarterback position that was holding back the offense. And Tom Brady comes in and helps these guys reach their potential. And, of course, you bring in Todd Bowles, who helps the defense out, like, a lot. So, I mean, it was just it was just a matter of leadership, I think, this year.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean,
what do you think about Super Bowl parties, Ballard?
I like getting together with people and everything, but my God, I just want to watch the darn game.
Yeah, right.
Just shut up and watch the game.
Yeah,
you
right.
Know? You want to text me about it?
Yeah, just shut up and watch the game.
But
that's exactly what runs through my mind when I'm at a Super Bowl party, when I'm sitting there and everyone's just yapping about commercials and the buffalo chicken dip and whatever the hell else these people are yapping about in the background. That's what I'm thinking. I don't say it, but I'm thinking in my mind, just shut the hell up so I can watch the game. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I get these fans. You know what else annoys me? And I know we're all like this as football fans, right? But it's something weird about, like, we can cheer on our team and be like, yeah, let's go. But then once you hear someone else do it, then you're like, okay, come on. Like we do it and it's fine to us, but then you hear someone else do it, and it always like pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Necessarily, but
it's all the energy or whatever. It's like it's too much. But yeah, I like getting together with people. I'm a people person, but I mean, I just want to watch the game.
Wilkie says, I don't like parties at all. Sir, me either. We are kindred spirits in that way. I'm not a party guy at all. I mean, I was when I was younger, I'm way too old for that shit now, I guess. The Prophet, thank you for the $2 donation, says, the dude is methed out. Get him off, please. I think he's talking about George.
Yeah.
Look, the Prophet, I understand what you're saying. I will never come down on my man. Only I can say bad things about George. You have somebody like that in your life, Ballard, where like you can talk shit about him, but nobody else can, type thing. I defend George for calling into my show, because if it weren't for people like George calling into my show, there would be no call-in show. So it's like only I can say shit about him. When somebody else says something about him, I have to defend him. So I don't think he's methed out. I just think he's crazy. How about that?
You know, on Feinbaum, I don't know how much you pay attention to like his callers, but you know Jim from Tuscaloosa, who's always calling up to Paul. We don't hear from him each now, but he's like, he's like, I'm the reason for your show. George is basically Pigskin Pete's Jim from Tuscaloosa.
Well, he's the Jim from Tuscaloosa for every college football YouTube channel, not just mine. But
I've heard.
I understand your point. Yeah. All right, Ballard. Anything else you got for me, buddy?
I don't think so. I mean, we got the Super Bowl coming up. We got a long off season ahead. Hey,
yes.
Any Miami fans out there? The Tide are coming week 1. Y'all get ready. Yeah, keep thinking about that loss in that 92 championship. Have a good day, Pete. Love you. Roll Tide.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Ballard Sports Media. What's up, your home, Pete?
Oh, man. I hope you've been paying attention. Guess what I did today?
What'd you do?
Before we get to that, I just want to know if I have this right. So far, it's been Edward, George, and Ballard?
Yes. Yes. That's right.
Man.
Yeah.
God bless the off season.
Yes, yes.
I sunk every dime I owned into GameStop today.
Aren't you late to the party?
I sure hope not.
I think if you'd have done that like a week ago, you'd be golden. But I don't know about right now. I mean, look, I'm no fucking stock expert, but I think it's probably maxed out where it's at, isn't it?
I don't know. Isn't it up like 1,500% in a week?
So here's the thing: if you would have bought $1,000 worth of GameStop stock like 10 months ago, it would be 100,000 now. It's up 100 times. Now that was almost a year ago. But yeah, you're right.
Why?
Yeah, because all these nerds are trying to fuck over Wall Street on the internet. That's why.
A troll army from Reddit is trying to screw over a bunch of hedge funds who shorted GameStop.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what you should
winning.
You know what you should have done instead of they're winning. You know what you should have done instead of putting all that money into GameStop? And I don't want to rain on your parade. I mean, I hope you make $1 million. I mean, I really do. But now they're doing the same thing to A&E, the cable news network.
I actually didn't put a dime into GameStop.
Oh, okay.
I did put some money in AMC today.
AMC. I said A&E. I meant AMC. Yeah.
They're next on the troll army's list, so I did put some money in AM. Now AMC went up some today, but hopefully it'll go up a bunch more tomorrow. But I'm a get in and get out guy. Yeah, well, that's the only way to really do it. If that thing doubles tomorrow, I'm going to get out so quick it's going to make somebody's head spin.
Yeah, and that's the way you should do it, and especially with stocks like this. And I don't claim to be some kind of financial expert, but the long game is for people that have money, right? Like,
when I found out there was a troll army that was making money in the stock market by screwing over the hedge funds, I had to get in on it.
Yeah.
The trolls are undefeated.
Yeah, but the troll army on YouTube, as far as college football concerned, is not near smart enough to do that shit. No.
Oh, well, yeah.
The totally different kind of troll army.
So. Yeah, and it's so funny too. And this, this kind of pisses me off. And this is getting serious for a second. GameStop went up so fast, so quick, they shut the market down to protect the hedge funds.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Oh, of course it's wrong.
They win 90% of the time, and then when they're losing, they halt trading to limit their losses.
Well,
it's a rigged game.
Man, everybody knows that the stock market is as crooked as it gets. And this is not a partisan thing.
This troll army run them over for 3 days.
Yeah, and people think this is partisan, whether Republican or Democrat. Look, this is all parties and beyond.
Oh yeah, this has nothing to do with politics. What I'm talking about here, this is just hilarious. It's literally a troll army from Reddit.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a few people I think that sunk a significant amount of money in, but most people I think are putting $100 or $200 in, but it's tens of thousands.
Yeah.
I forget what GameStop's market cap is, but let's say it's $100 million. In other words, let's say there's only $100 million of GameStop stock.
Right.
Something like 700 million worth of stock was bought and sold just today in GameStop.
Yeah.
It's buying and selling. It's just insane. And if anybody listening doesn't know what we're talking about, just Google GameStop stock and read a short article on it. It's hilarious. But literally a troll army from Reddit is running over these. There's hedge fund companies that have lost billions of dollars just on GameStop stock in the last 3 days.
30 days from now, GameStop stock will be down 90%. I mean, I'm just throwing a number out there.
Again.
Yeah, it'll be worth nothing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, but I did put some money in the movie theater thing today, so we'll see what it does tomorrow. But
well, I mean,
I'm an
that's
idiot when it comes to this stuff. But I had to get in on this troll army deal.
Yeah, you might make some money on that. Just watch it and sell it. Sell it tomorrow if it goes up. $10 or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If it goes up, I'm getting out. Just say I was a part of the troll army that took down Wall Street. Have a good morning.
All right. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hi, Pete. This is I go by Yakov22 on YouTube. But,
yes.
Jacob.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Sorry, I'm the one that I called you a few weeks ago. I'm from Myrtle Beach. Well, from Ohio originally, and now live in Myrtle Beach.
Yes. Right. Yes, I remember you perfectly. Yeah. How you doing, man?
Yes. Well, doing well, thank God. Thank you for having me on the show here. It's not why I called, but also I heard the last guy talking about stocks, and I will say this: I own several shares of Netflix. I don't know if you know, it went up about $83 a share last week. And I sold half my shares, so I made a nice little profit there.
If you bought Netflix in 2008 or 9, during the crash, you would be if you would have bought $10,000 worth of stock in Netflix in 2009, you'd be a multimillionaire right now. Or not even just right now, 4 years ago.
Yeah, I bought a little after. I made several thousand last week, about $3,000-4,000, and
wow, good for you.
I held on the other half.
Good for you.
Yeah, wealthy, but it was nice little.
Guess what I did last month? I lost $3,000. Yeah, so no, I'm not in the stock market. Not in the stock market. Just in real life. Just by being a degenerate who doesn't know how to handle money.
Well, I'm gonna put you. I think you want to mention Mary. I'll put her in charge of the family money.
Yeah. All right.
Well. Oh, okay, maybe that's a good idea, but I just thought I'd suggest that. But, well, Pete, I thought I'd tell you this. I know you're talking about Super Bowl parties. I thought I'd share this. Actually, the first Super Bowl I ever. Can you hear me, Pete?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I thought I heard some static there. The first Super Bowl I ever watched, well, that really watched. I think I came in and out the year before, but yeah, I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in Northeast Ohio, Canton, so I was all Cleveland area. In addition to Ohio State, it was an all Cleveland area. I had
an uncle that lived in Canton. I went to Canton every summer for about 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I grew up there.
Actually, 5 years, probably 5 years in Canton, 5 years in Akron. But yeah, I know where
I know the Football Hall of Fame parade, usually in August.
Yeah.
The Football Hall of Fame game, I should say.
Uh-huh.
I was at that parade every year from maybe 1979 till 1994.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
Including many of the, maybe about half the games too. But
yeah.
So in 80, I believe it would have been in 1982, when it was the Bengals that played the 49ers. It was the first of the four of Joe Montana's 4 Super Bowls and Bill Walsh's 4 winning Super Bowls. I was still not understanding football that well. I thought it was the Browns that was in the Super Bowl, because they have very similar colors to the Bengals. So I guess it's not really about a party so much. It's just more about my first memory of watching the Super Bowl. And, that was a pretty entertaining Super Bowl. The close game. The Bengals got a touchdown right at the end to keep it close. But, that goes back almost, I guess, 39. It'll be 39 years sometime, I guess, about a week or two from now. And that's the first game I ever watched, and I don't think I've missed one since 1982.
Right, but how do you feel about Super Bowl parties? In other words, like going to somebody's house or even at your house if you're the host of the party and having the whole spread of food and having a bunch of people come over, the neighbors and family members and friends of friends, and everybody sits around and watches the game. The guys are all huddled in there. But here's what Super Bowl parties are for women. They're for women. They're for women to get together and drink some wine and hang out. And the men are all there against their will, like prisoners. And they sit there and they pretend like they want to be there, but they don't want to be there. All the men would rather be at home watching it on their big screen in their living room. And they sit there and have to pretend like they want to talk to each other about the lawnmower and the new truck they got and work. And all this shit that nobody wants to talk about. They just want to watch the game in silence and put their hand down their pants like Al Bundy. That's it.
Somebody I don't really go to. That's a good example. I don't really. First of all, I've never hosted a Super Bowl party. I haven't been to one in several years. But I have a friend in the whole story itself. But I been taking a conversational Hebrew course for several years. So there's a friend I've made in Israel, who we see each other twice a week. She wants to improve her English. So once a week she calls me and we just speak in English, which is obviously easy for me. And the other time a week I call her and, well, whatever. She calls me, I call her, and try to speak in Hebrew for that time. And we were talking about the Super Bowl, and which she very much does not understand. And I told her, I think that what the Super Bowl has become in America, probably not for the last at least 30 years or so, I think it's basically become a holiday.
It has.
She didn't really get the concept of it. Obviously, outside of North America, people don't watch football too much. But I told her I think it's just a U.S. holiday. It's not that undifferent than, say, Thanksgiving. Maybe there's not a religious connotation to it or anything like that. But it's very much a religious holiday. American cultural holiday that I think outside of the U.S. and maybe Canada, it's not really that understood. But for football, for those of us who love football, we still want just the game, but as far as parties go, I think it's really just an American holiday and American cultural tradition for most people. And when you put those people in the same room, sometimes it's hard for them to be quiet and let people who actually enjoy it, not just look at it as a cultural tradition, to enjoy it, and whereas other people who just want to, live it up.
It's definitely an unofficial holiday, but I just don't think that it's viewed worldwide, so it's not just even an American thing, right? They watch it all over the world. Half the people, whether they're in some other country or in the United States, don't even know what they're watching or care. They just look at, like I said, it's a reason to get together and drink some wine or some beer or whatever, eat some chicken wings or some dip and just talk.
Yeah, obviously see the unique commercials. Obviously, a lot of people are quiet for the commercials and start talking during the game.
The difference between that holiday and every other holiday, though, is it's always on a Sunday, and nobody gets the Monday off afterwards. Like there's still school, and there's still work, right? Nobody, unless you live unless you live in the city of Buffalo and Buffalo is in the Super Bowl, maybe the next Monday, like your employer's not expecting you to be there, right? But anywhere else in the world, you're expected to be there the next day.
Yeah, I have a feeling if I told her, "Are you going to take off Monday after work?" The person I speak to,
get you fired.
I have no idea what I'm trying to talk about there, but I know that apparently it is the most unproductive. That Monday is the most called out day in the country and the most unproductive work day of the year.
Right.
That's apparently a known thing. So you're right. Officially, it's not, but I guess a lot of people who are able to, of course, some people can't do that, but those who have a bit more flexibility in their work are able to either take that off or go to work late and are unproductive while they're there. So, but I'm not going to do that, Pete. I work at home, but nevertheless, I'm going to be doing my regular hours that day because I'm not going to be partying. I'm just going to watch the game.
I hear
watch
you.
some of the post-game stuff.
I promise to everybody out there, I have 2 live shows on Monday following the Super Bowl. One with Mark Rogers, Coast to Coast. I'll be doing that show. Actually, hold on.
I watched you a couple days ago.
I lied. He won't be. He's going to be out of town for the Super. So I won't be doing that show. I might do my own show though during that time slot, and then Monday night the Lunch Money show with Uncle Lou following. But anyway, but you're right. Most people have to be at work, bright and early, and it's just the way it is.
Well, Pete, first of all, I really enjoyed it. I appreciate you taking my call. I know you have a lot of people. You're a popular guy. A lot of people want to talk to you, so I'll reluctantly let you get to them.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good evening.
All right. Yeah, Traveling Fool says, don't waste money on GameStop. Now that ship has sailed. Exactly. By the time it hits the newspapers that it's hit an all-time high and it went up 1,000% or whatever it went up, it's too late by then, right? If you're one of these people that's going out and buying it now because of that, then you have no idea what you're doing. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that much. So that tells you, the people that are actually still buying it really don't know what they're doing. What's up? You're on with Pete. This will be the last phone call of the night.
Hey, Pete, it's Nate the Great.
Nate the Great, don't be late, a.k.a. the depressed Wolverines fan and Nebraska Cornhuskers fans, Nate Kingston. I get that right?
Man. Yep, man, that's a long name.
It's a long name. You got the longest name on YouTube, sir. It's really not even close.
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, how's your night going, Pete?
I'm just sitting here taking phone calls live on the internet. Amazing and fantastic.
Okay. So I'm not doing jokes now. I'm saying that I'll say that on Friday night. But to be real, those jokes were funny. But anyway, my prediction. Sorry, I got to cut to the chase though. For Super Bowl prediction, I think the Chiefs. I hate to say this.
Nate, what do you think about Super Bowl? Forget the Super Bowl prediction. Nobody cares about that. What do you think about Super Bowl parties? You go to Super Bowl party? Do you have a Super Bowl party at your house? What's going on? What is going on in the world of Nate the Great? Don't be late, a.k.a. Wolverines Cornhusker fan, on Super Bowl Sunday every year.
Well,
walk me through your day.
Well,
you wake up, make some eggs, maybe some hash browns. What do you eat for breakfast on Super Bowl Sunday? What do you eat for lunch? Do you go to a party? Do you even get invited to a party? Do you host your own party? Do you have a girlfriend that comes over? Do you have a girl that you want to be your girlfriend come over? What does your mom do? What does your dad do? What do your cousins do? What does your dog do? Do you eat wings?
but
what's Nate do?
The first option that you said, eggs in the morning, yes, that's what I do.
Oh, you do? You do wake up in the morning. Okay, that's good.
No, I do. I do scrambled eggs with cheese on them, and plus cream cheese. I know.
So, Nate? Do you ever go to a party, or do you just sit at home and watch it?
I don't go to parties, but we just invite people over to my house.
So, like on an average Nate the Great Super Bowl Sunday, don't be late. I'm assuming you send out invitations to your Super Bowl parties, and on the invitation you put on there the Super Bowl starts at 8:30 p.m. Don't be late. Do you say that? If you don't, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you. You do tell them not to be late, right?
Yes.
Good. So how many people come over? Are we talking about like what constitutes a party? But there's two things you can do here. There's a get together, which is like 2 to 4 people, right? In my mind, like your neighbors, like your two, the two houses on either side of you, or apartments or whatever you live in, right? And maybe the one across the hall, right? So that's 4 to 6 people. That's a get together. A party is like 10, 12, 15, 20 or more.
Like
right?
Family.
Huh?
Yeah. Like we usually do have a Super Bowl party for like close friends and family.
Yeah, so how many people is that? Or are we talking about 4 to 8 or more?
8 to 14, yes.
8 to 14, that's a big that's the difference between a get together and a party, sir. So is it 8 or 14? I need to know to make my final ruling on this.
I'll pick out, it's probably 13.
That's a party. The 13 people is a party. Yeah. If 13 people come over to my house, we're having a party, son. All right. That's, I mean, we're going to party like it's 1999 up in that biatch if I have 13 people coming over. So.
Slim Shady, there's the Goat Watson, there's everybody.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But Pete. We usually do like you said, like a buffalo dip, which is pretty good with a Super Bowl party, you think. And we do some wings and maybe guacamole and chips.
Man. So Nate, if I was to be like, hey, I want to come to Nate the Great's party. That's what you would serve for Pigskin Pete. You would serve some wings and some guacamole dip, like you just said, and some buffalo chicken dip. What else did you say?
I think that's it.
That's it,
I don't
huh?
know what I said. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that's it, but I think that's it all I said. But there's more, but I forgot what all of them are. So that's the only things I know.
What kind of Nate? How old are you? Are you 21 yet?
No, not yet.
All right, so never mind. I won't even go into that. Well, I'll go into that.
I mean,
your parents are over 21, so I don't know. Do your parents drink beer or anything like that, or?
Well, my
wine?
dad does.
Okay.
My mom drinks normally wine.
Right. Okay. They're good. Yeah, I like wine too. But if you're having a party, like when people come over, they have stuff for them to drink, right? Like beer or wine, right?
Yeah.
So if I was to come over and say, hey, Pigskin Pete's coming over to Nate the Great's Super Bowl party to hang out and eat some chicken dip, what kind of beer or what would they have for me to drink as a guest?
Well, there's Bud Light. There's
Bud Light. I'm not flying to Nebraska for Bud Light. I'm just kidding.
My dad has Sammy Adams, Boston Light.
Sam Adams. There we go. Now we're talking. Does your dad ever drink any
lager?
Does your dad ever drink any whiskey or bourbon?
It depends how what he wants to drink for whiskey. So
yeah. I'm just trying to think. I'm being selfish. If I fly to Nebraska for a Super Bowl party, I want Nate DeGrate's dad to offer me some bourbon, at least, or some whiskey or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bud Light that ain't happening.
Oh man. Yeah. He usually just does drink some beer with his koozie and.
There you go. All right.
And plus he sits in his comfy chair, recliner chair.
Every dad's got their chair that the kids aren't allowed to touch. Right, I'm the same way. I got my recliner, and my kids aren't allowed in. If my tuchus is in that recliner, the kids aren't allowed in it. That's all there is to it. That's the rule. That's the only thing I got around here, Nate. One day you'll recognize the only thing you have is your chair. Right. That's probably the only thing in this house I could say is completely mine is that chair. Everything else belongs to them. I'm just living in their world, you know?
Yeah, because he well, here's the thing. My dad, man, I'm getting driving off. But my dad usually sleeps a lot in his chair because it's pretty comfy.
All right, Nate. I'm gonna have to let you go, buddy. I got one more call, and I'm overdue here. But I will be coming to your house. I will expect some bourbon and some chicken dip. Thank you, sir. Nate the Great, don't be late, aka everything else. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. First off, what the hell is chicken dip?
You never had chicken dip before?
What is chicken dip?
It's like.
Is it like chicken salad in dip form?
No, nothing like that. It's more like.
Yeah, what is chicken?
You never had buffalo chicken dip before? This is actually pretty shocking. All right, so here's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Here's what I need you to do. So Super Bowl Sunday is coming up next weekend. I need you to make sure you go to. Where do you live? You don't have to give me your address or nothing, but like what part of the country do you live in? What state?
Columbia.
Okay. So do you I'm sure you guys have Publix or Bilo or something like along those lines up there, right?
All of them.
All right, good.
We even got Piggly Wiggly still.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, we got Piggly Wiggly here too. Go to any of those places, go to the dip aisle during Super Bowl Sunday weekend. You will find buffalo chicken dip, and they even have it already made. You don't even have to make it. Or you can make it yourself if you just go on.
What brand? Just get like the
So you're talking about like a ranch.
the grocery brand?
Yeah, you can get, well, there's all kinds of brands, but you can get it already made or you can make your own. The one you make your own is even better. But it's either a ranch-based thing or a sour cream-based thing, and it has all kinds of stuff in it. It has chicken, hot sauce, obviously, or buffalo sauce or whatever, and all kinds of different spices, and there's all kinds of different ways you can make it. But it's basically shredded chicken and some sort of a ranch or sour cream-based dip.
I very much will do that
Yes.
because I love shredded chicken.
Yes, it's amazing and
How do you
fantastic.
shred it?
Yeah, it's amazing and fantastic.
When you make shredded chicken at home, how do you shred your chicken? Do you just use 2 forks and pull it?
Yeah, yeah, most of the time. You can buy it. You can buy it shredded, but yeah, if I'm going to shred it myself, then I'll just shred it, with a fork.
Best way to shred some chicken, just boil your breasts or thighs or whatever. Get your cake batter mixer, and then run that through it.
Yeah.
It pulls it almost like pulled pork.
Yes. All right. I agree. Yeah, you can do it. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it. Yeah.
I appreciate you telling me about that. I just heard you getting off the phone with Nate, and you said chicken dip. I was like, I've never heard of chicken dip.
Yeah, just go, all you have to do is Google a recipe like you use like a slow cooker, like a crock pot, or even just on the stove. A buffalo chicken dip recipe, and there's a million of them on there.
I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna use some of that Frank's Red Hot buffalo.
There you go. That'll work.
Put that shit on.
Yeah, that'll work.
Have you ever drank a tin cup?
Like the movie Tin Cup?
No, tin cup. It's a whiskey.
Yeah, Tin Cup,
Actually,
like the movie. You ever seen the movie Tin Cup with Kevin Costner?
No, I haven't.
The golf movie with Cheech Marin and Kevin Costner. Tin Cup. Is that what you're saying? Tin Cup. TINCUP.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tin Cup. Yeah.
I have not seen that movie. I've heard of it.
So
I haven't watched it.
Before you Google buffalo chicken dip, go watch that movie. It's a great movie. Yeah. Anyway, no, I've never had Tin Cup. But you said Tin Cup whiskey or Tin Cup vodka? Is that which one did you say?
It's a whiskey. It's a blend. It's a blend of whiskey or no, not whiskey. Rye, malt, and barley.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like whiskey.
It's probably the smoothest bourbon whiskey. Well, it's not a whiskey; it's a bourbon.
Okay, I would definitely I'll try it. Yeah, I'll look for it.
Smoothest bourbon that I've ever had.
I like bourbon, so I'll look for it.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's made with out in Colorado with they claim that it's got the freshest water because it's mountain water from like over a mile high.
Like Colorado water.
The blend is what makes it good, not the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just wanted to holler at you and comment on that stuff. Where are we going? When we going to meet at Nate's house?
This coming Super Bowl Sunday. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday. We'll be there. We'll be at Nate's house.
All right, I'll remember to look up that chicken dip recipe.
Yeah, we'll be at Nate's house. He lives in Nebraska, by the way, so it's gonna be a long drive. You want me to pick you up on the way?
Yeah, you're probably going to be passing through at least the general Columbia area.
Yeah, I'll pick you up.
I think I could probably.
Yeah, it's only a 19-hour drive. No big deal. No big deal.
No.
All right.
Just a day and a half. Take a day off of work.
Yep.
But
Yep.
love you, Pete, man.
All right, buddy.
I'll holler back at you.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete, I wanted to tell you a story about
George,
Japan.
George, didn't you already call in?
Oh, hey, it's George in Portland. How you doing?
George, didn't you already call in?
No, it's my first time.
No, you called in. We already spoke. We spoke about 30 minutes ago.
Do you want to hear my Japanese story or not?
All right, you got six. Hold on, let me do this. All right, I got a stopwatch on here. You got 60.
Right,
listen. I'm going to let you say what you want to say for 60 seconds. Okay.
All right, listen. This is
all right. Go.
I joined the Air Force.
Go.
And they make me the club manager of the officers club in Tokyo. And we have a dining in. There's 300 people there. And I've hired 15 busboys. I have 30 waitresses. It's a big deal, man. 300 people.
You're wasting your time. You're at 20. You got 40 seconds left.
Right. So everybody's afraid to serve the drinks to the generals. And I tell the waitresses, I take this tray.
30 seconds left.
And I say, I spilled all the wine all over the biggest general in the Air Force. It was like 10 carafes of wine and 9 wine glasses.
15 seconds.
I'm lucky I'm not in Leavenworth.
10 seconds, George.
That all in there. I'm done. That's all I had to say.
Damn, he came in at 56 seconds on the dot. All right, this is my last call for real. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hello? Hey, Pete, it's Dominic.
Hey, what's up, Dominic? Oh, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Right here.
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a second, man. What's up?
What's up, man?
Nothing much. I just wanted to talk about the Super Bowl before you end the show.
All right. What you got for me? What's your thoughts, concerns, or discrepancies? Or complaints?
Well, for the Super Bowl, honestly, I think Tom Brady is going to get a Super Bowl ring one last time, and after that, I think he should retire because he's played in the NFL for a really long time.
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct, sir. He has played in the NFL for a very long time. You are correct, sir.
Yep. But Patrick Mahomes, he's new to the NFL at this point.
He's very new. He's he's won a Super Bowl. What do you think about Super Bowl parties, Dominic? What's your thoughts on are you a big fan of Super Bowl parties? Like going over to people's houses and hanging out and talking about your job or what kind of new lawnmower your neighbor got, or virtual schooling. That seems to be the big thing when we go to parties now that I don't want to go to with my wife. Everyone talks about virtual schooling. So, are you a big fan of Super Bowl parties?
Not really. I just like to chill out with the family and just watch the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Right? Put your hand down your pants like Al Bundy, right? And just chill out. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
How about you? What are your thoughts on the Super Bowl, Pete?
I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I think it's an interesting matchup, like I said at the beginning of the show, mainly because it's Tom Brady. And of course, the most exciting team in all of the NFL in Kansas City. Outside of that, I mean, I'm not a fan of either team. I would say I'm probably going to root for Kansas City simply because I don't like the Buccaneers. They're in the same division as my favorite team, the Carolina Panthers. I don't want to see them win a Super Bowl. And also, the Kansas City Chiefs have 4 Clemson Tigers starters on their team. So, from a Clemson standpoint, I clearly have to root for Kansas City.
Yeah, you do have a point there. Well, Arnie, well, I'm going to let you go and let you end the show. And good luck to the Clemson Tigers next college football season.
All right, buddy. Don't be a stranger. It's going to be a long off season. I'm going to need people like you, Dominic, to call in and keep this show afloat. You know that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining me tonight. It was a great show. It's about 11:20. I love doing these call-in shows every Wednesday and Friday night. That's where you can find me again the next time is here live on YouTube at 10 p.m. on Friday night. Make sure you bring your questions and complaints, and we'll see what we can get into on Friday night there. Thank you to all the people that sent donations through Super Chat and PayPal. If it weren't for you guys, I could not do these shows. Everything is appreciated, and I love all of you. Also, next Monday, the Lunch Monday show with Uncle Lou at 10 p.m., and we'll see. I'm sure I'll see you guys before then. You're all amazing and fantastic. Like I said before, thank you, George, for calling in twice. Thank you, Nate the Great, for letting me know that you will definitely have buffalo chicken dip and some sort of bourbon for me to come over and watch the Super Bowl with you all the way in Nebraska. I'll be there. I have to leave today to get there by next Sunday, though. I'm sure. All right, guys. It's been real. It's been real fun, but it hasn't been real fun. Big Sam Peete is checking out.